In this video, we're going to make these quick, cheap and easy workshop doors. And then later on, I think we'll have a go at making a cool kind of castle lock thing that we can secure them a bit better with. Okay, so we've got that bit covered up now. Stop the rain getting in all that sellotex, and we've got the trim around the edge of here finished up. It's not super pretty, but it'll do for this purpose. I've cut the two doors here. They are 109 by 219, and this is 18mm OSB, which I think is going to be strong enough for what we want it to do, whilst also being, fairly affordable. What we're going to do next is cut the frame so that there's some more support. You could just use sheets like this, but I think after a couple of years you'd wish you'd built a frame to the back. So we're going to get some 2x4, cut it up, put it around the edge, make sure it all fits, and then we'll get on with the test fit. So these bits here are, I don't actually know what they're called, but they heel and toe the door, like windows, heel and toe. So what you're trying to do is support the bottom corner and the top, so the bottom internal corner and the top outside corner, so that the door, when it's hung, doesn't bend away. And you want these to be nice and tight. So I've cut these a few times, and you can see that's sort of just going in. But if you make it loose, what it'll do, when you screw it in, it will then pull it to the length that if it's too short, it'll then pull it down, and you don't want that. You want some pressure so that this holds the top corner up and stops it from sagging. So I'll screw that side in there, and next we're going to hang the doors, but I think first I found something really cool in the field, so I think we're going to go and have a quick look at that. It'll only take a couple of minutes, and then we'll get back to fitting the doors. Okay, so to explain what these actually are, I might have to backtrack a little bit. I was on the internet and I was watching how ancient Scots used to light their homes. And there's this really good channel, I'll probably link to it somewhere in here, where he went over different ways that they created candles. And he mentioned this specific reed, which he said the pith, the sort of inside core, they used to remove, and they'd put them in a, it looked like an Aladdin's lantern actually, where they kind of put it in the end and they had some oil in the bottom of the lantern, which this acts as a wick. And what it does is it wicks up the end of this, and then you can light it. And I think this was at a time before they had string wicks, obviously, but also at the time, if it's basically free, then I suppose from a cost perspective, these may have been very good. And I always thought it looks like a really good solution. But as I was watching it, I looked at the grass and I was like, hang on a minute. I was like, I'm pretty sure almost all of our grass is that type of grass. I went out and had a look and I couldn't strip it down. It's like it was really stuck in there. So I thought, well, there's got to be a good time of year to harvest this. And then I went for a walk yesterday. I was having a look for a location for a hobbit hut that I'm planning on building, digging out the ground, burying it, all that kind of stuff. And I found these on the floor, just lying there. And I was like, oh, I reckon a little field mouse has gone around and taken off the outer core. And yeah, sure, I'm pretty sure that's what it was. So I've set up a bit of an experiment. I've got a little cap full of fuel, and I'm going to light one and see what happens. Okay, so first, I've just put this in, and I'm hoping this picks up on camera, because it was amazing how fast the fluid... I thought I was going to have to leave this in there to soak for ages, but I'm really hoping this picks up. I just dropped it in. Can you see how fast that's running up there? It's like there. So I thought I'd have to leave this for ages, and actually, it's not quite at the end yet. But I mean, that's an amazing wick. Right, so here we go. Let's have a look. Cool, look at that. Wow. I did not think that was gonna... I thought it was gonna light like a tea light or something, not like... It's not burning either. I thought it would burn away. But that's... I mean, there is a bit of smoke, so I have to say it's probably not quite suitable for indoors, but... there we go, it's burning away now. Wow. The beady-eyed among you will notice there was already charred remains on the stone. My first attempt, I used petrol. I'll put that in the end of the video, so that don't use petrol. Okay, so these are the hinges that we're going to use, and they're gate hinges because they're cheap. The ones that I wanted to use still there. The ones that I wanted to use are lever concealed hinges. Very good, but very expensive. So I decided to go with these because they're cheap, they're fairly strong, and they're easy to fit because you don't have to route the holes out. So coach bolts go there, and I've got some security screws here just so that, well, I mean, in my mind it made it more tinker-proof, but you're not going to be able to get the bolt out without, you know, having access to the back anyway. So I'm going to fit the hinges, and then we're going to carry the doors over to the entryway over there to try and fit them. And then after that, we're going to get to that lock system that I'm kind of hoping to figure out. it took a bit of jiggling, but we've got the doors fitted now. And oh, got my brake in the way. They close all right. Well, they close all right if you catch them. There we go. So next is that lock, and I thought it would be kind of cool if we had a Casle door style lock. I'm not actually sure. You know those kind of like barricade yourself in types of locks. So I thought if we have a big piece of wood like this and we have some hooks on the inside of the doors, then I can put this piece of wood across the back and kind of lock the quad bike in. I don't need to be able to unlock it from the outside because I just don't need to. I feel like if you put a lock on the outside, you need a key. It's more complicated to fit it, and a big piece of wood on the inside feels nice and strong. I've already got the wood lying around, it's cheap, don't have to buy anything, don't have to wait for it to be delivered. So I'm gonna have a go at making those supports on the inside, and then hopefully the doors won't just blow open on their own as they have been kind of hanging, which is great because when you want to get out, you can get out quick. But yeah, I want these secure now. I think we can call that a success. They're cheap, they were easy and they were quick. They close, they keep the animals out, and they lock. There we go. If this is the kind of content you like, come join us for the next one. It'd be nice to see you there. We'll see you then. Right, let's have a go. Oh, shit. Well, I'm glad I set that on a stone and not on a piece of timber. Perhaps I'll put this down.